My fiancé went live and said, "Can't wait to marry this fool and take half." I commented, "Joke's on you, the wedding's cancelled." Her face dropped midstream. Hey viewers, real quick, only 8% of you watching are subscribed, and the channel's kind of stuck right now. If you enjoy these stories, hitting that subscribe button would really help us keep going. Thanks. I'm 24 M. Ryan, writing this while my ex-fiancée Madison frantically tries to explain herself in the other room. This happened 2 hours ago, and I'm still processing how someone can destroy their entire future with one stupid live stream. Madison's been doing this Instagram influencer thing for about a year now. Started small, maybe 200 followers, mostly posting workout videos and lifestyle content. Nothing major, but she was passionate about building her brand. Over the past few months, her follower count started growing. She hit 5,000 last week and was super excited about potentially getting sponsorship deals. The growth went to her head a bit, but I figured it was harmless. We've been together 2 years, engaged for 6 months. I work in tech, make decent money, and we'd been planning a small wedding for next spring. Nothing fancy, just family and close friends. This afternoon, Madison was setting up for one of her regular live streams. She does them every Wednesday at 4 p.m., usually talks about fitness routines, upcoming content, answers questions from followers. Pretty standard stuff. I was working from home in the next room, had a client call scheduled for 4:30, so I was just finishing up some prep work when I heard her go live. Hey everyone, welcome back to another Wednesday check-in. I could hear her through the wall doing her usual intro, talking about her workout from earlier, some new protein powder she was trying. Normal content. About 10 minutes in, I heard her voice change. She got that gossipy tone she uses when she's talking to her girlfriends about drama. "So, you guys have been asking about the wedding planning, and I have some tea to spill." I paused my work. Madison doesn't usually talk about our personal stuff on her streams. I know some of you think I'm crazy for getting married so young, but honestly, I've got it all figured out. She was talking louder now, clearly excited about whatever she was about to say. Ryan makes really good money in tech, and he's like totally clueless about protecting himself financially. I frowned. That wasn't true. I handle my own finances carefully. And here's the best part. When I bring up money stuff, he just says we'll figure it out together. No prenup talk, no separate accounts, nothing. My stomach started to turn. We'd had conversations about combining finances after marriage, but I'd been thinking about partnership, not whatever this was. Like, this man is gonna marry me with no protection whatsoever. A chill ran down my spine. I quietly moved closer to the door between our rooms. I've been doing research, and in this state, I'm entitled to half of everything acquired during the marriage. Half his salary, half his savings, half any bonuses. She was laughing now like this was the funniest thing in the world. And you guys don't even know the best part yet. His company is probably going to have some major growth soon. More money, better opportunities. She was being vague about my company's situation, but I could tell what she was hinting at. So I just have to stay married for a few years, let him make me comfortable, then if things don't work out, she made an exaggerated shrugging gesture. Honestly, can't wait to marry this fool and take half. I stood there in shock. The woman I was planning to spend my life with had just described me as a fool she was planning to financially exploit. I grabbed my phone and opened Instagram. I rarely used it, but I had an account. I pulled up her live stream. Sure enough, there she was, grinning at the camera while describing her plan to marry me for my money. The comments were rolling in. Some people were laughing, some were asking if this was a joke, others were saying it sounded messed up. I typed a comment using my real name. "Joke's on you, the wedding's cancelled." Madison's eyes went to the comment section like they always did when new ones came in. I watched her face change as she read my comment and saw my name. The color drained completely. "Ow. Oh no," she said quietly, looking directly at the camera. She looked toward the door between our rooms, then back at the screen. Guys, I think Ryan just saw the stream." More comments started flooding in. People were asking if this was real, if I was actually watching, if the comment was really from me. Madison's hands were shaking as she tried to read the comments. "Ryan, if you're watching this, I was just joking. It was just content. You know how social media works. But the damage was done. I'd heard exactly what she thought of me and our relationship. I'm going to end the stream. Sorry guys, technical difficulties. She ended the live video and I heard her rushing toward our room. Ryan, where are you? I was standing in the hallway when she found me. Ryan, thank God. Listen, that stream was just for engagement. I was being dramatic for the algorithm. Dramatic about planning to take half my money? Yes, I was playing up a character. You know how social media is. Controversy gets views. Madison, you researched divorce laws. You knew specific details about asset division. I was just trying to sound convincing for the content. You called me a fool. You detailed a plan to exploit me financially. Ryan, I love you. I want to marry you because I love you. No, you want to marry me because you think I'm an easy target. That's not true. I looked at her for a long moment. 2 years together, and I'd never seen this side of her. Madison, pack your stuff. Ryan, no, please. It was just a stupid stream. It was your honest thoughts. You just said them in public by mistake. Ryan, I'll delete everything. I'll post an apology. I'll never talk about money again. Madison, you can't delete a live stream, and you can't delete what I heard you say. Then I'll explain it was all fake. Was it fake when you researched what you'd be entitled to in a divorce? Was it fake when you calculated how long you'd need to stay married? She had no answer. Madison, I'm calling off the wedding. Ryan, please, don't let one stupid mistake ruin everything. This wasn't a mistake. This was you revealing who you really are. I spent the evening calling vendors. The caterer required full payment since we were less than 6 months out. The venue kept the deposit and charged a 50% cancellation fee. The photographer was more understanding but still kept her deposit. Total cost about $8,000. Expensive lesson, but cheaper than what Madison was planning. Update 1. 1 week later, the internet works fast, but not as fast as I initially thought. Thanks for all the comments. This whole situation has been educational. Madison's live stream got screen recorded by at least 3 people. By Friday, clips were starting to circulate in relationship advice groups and influencer drama pages. It took about 4 days for the story to really gain traction. Someone posted it on TikTok with the caption, "This is why prenups exist," and it started getting shared from there. Madison spent the weekend trying to do damage control. She posted multiple Instagram stories, claiming the whole thing was satirical content and that she was highlighting toxic relationship dynamics. The problem was that her explanation didn't match her delivery on the stream. She'd been genuinely excited and conspiratorial, not satirical. Her follower count dropped from 5,200 to about 1,800 over the course of a week. Not as dramatic as some viral disasters, but significant for someone trying to build an influencer career. Monday, she tried a different approach with me. Ryan, look what this has done to my reputation. My follower count is destroyed. I didn't do anything to your reputation, Madison. You did this to yourself. All I did was make one comment on a live stream. You detailed a plan to marry me for financial gain. That's not one comment. It was taken out of context. What's the context that makes "can't wait to marry this fool and take half" sound good? Tuesday, her parents called. They'd seen some of the clips through mutual friends. Her mom wanted to apologize for Madison's behavior. Her dad said he understood why I'd called off the wedding and that they were embarrassed by what she'd said. Ryan, we didn't raise Madison to think like this. We don't know where this attitude came from. I think social media might have changed her priorities. Ryan, you're making the right choice. If she's thinking like this before marriage, it would only get worse after. Wednesday brought an unexpected call from my company's HR department. Ryan, we need to discuss something. There are videos circulating online where your fiancé mentions details about company growth and financial opportunities. My heart sank. I never shared any confidential information with her. We're not saying you did, but we need to be more careful about what gets discussed at home. We're going to need you to sign an additional confidentiality agreement. Is this going to affect my employment? No, but it's a reminder that personal relationships can create professional risks. I was lucky to keep my job. Madison's loose talk about my company could have been much worse. Thursday, Madison tried one last approach. Ryan, what if we do get a prenup? Would that fix things? Madison, the problem isn't the lack of a prenup. The problem is that you see our marriage as a business transaction. I don't see it that way. You literally described a timeline for staying married long enough to maximize your payout. I was exaggerating for content. Madison, you researched specific laws. You had a plan. I was just being prepared. Prepared to divorce me before we're even married. Friday, I finished moving her stuff out. She alternated between crying and arguing, but I was done. Ryan, 5 years from now, you're gonna regret this. Madison, 5 years from now, I'm going to be grateful I dodged this bullet. Final update, 3 weeks later. The story has had a satisfying conclusion, though it took longer to play out than I expected. Week 2, Madison was telling mutual friends that I was financially controlling and that her stream had been her way of speaking out about my behavior. The problem with that story was that our friends knew me. They'd seen how I handled money in our relationship, fairly and openly. Her narrative didn't match their experiences with us. By week 3, most people had chosen sides, and most chose mine. Madison's follower count stabilized around 900 people, mostly drama watchers waiting to see what she'd do next. She tried posting normal fitness content, but the comments were always about the gold digger stream. 2 weeks ago, I found out she'd been messaging other influencers asking for advice on reputation recovery. Most ignored her, but one screenshot made it back to me showing Madison asking how to monetize controversy. She still didn't understand that what she'd done was wrong. Last week, I ran into Madison at the grocery store. She looked tired, like she hadn't been sleeping well. Ryan, hi, how are you doing? I'm good, Madison. How's everything going? It's been hard. This whole thing really affected my life. I'm sorry you're having a tough time. Do you think we could ever try again? I've learned a lot from this. Madison, what have you learned? That I need to be more careful about what I say online. That's it? That's what you learned? And that privacy is important in relationships. Madison, do you understand why what you said was wrong? Because it hurt your feelings? Because you were planning to exploit me financially? Ryan, I would never actually do that. But you researched how to do it. You had a timeline. You were excited about the opportunity. I was just being dramatic. Madison, I hope you figure out what you actually did wrong someday. But it won't be with me. Me? I'm doing great. I took the money I would have spent on the wedding and put it toward a house down payment. My company situation worked out well, and I'm in a much better financial position now. Started dating again recently. Met someone named Jennifer, who works as a financial advisor. When I told her the Madison story, her response was perfect. She broadcast her plan to financially exploit you? That's not just gold digging, that's being bad at gold digging. No drama, no sympathy for Madison, just clear understanding that planning to exploit your partner is wrong. The best part about this whole experience? I learned that sometimes people tell you exactly who they are, and you should listen. Madison thought she was clever for researching how to maximize her financial gain from our marriage. She thought I was naive enough that she could brag about her plan to strangers on the internet. Instead, she revealed her true intentions to the one person who needed to hear them most, me. She wanted to marry a fool and take half. Instead, she played herself and lost everything. The internet might forget eventually, but I won't.